anytime you have a low area, approaching a food source is an absolutely extraordinary place to actually place a stand. Now I have a stand in that big bottom that I pointed out now that I have placed there. And a buck, especially a mature deer, likes to get close to an area and he likes to stage. He'll rub his horns, he'll bed down, he'll just work the area and hang out till dark before he actually comes out in the field. What is happening, people? Hey guys, so we are right at the head of our black powder season, which will turn into gun season here in central North Carolina. And so I'm going to do this quick video. We're going to go over a few tips that may help you be more successful in your hunts. And I want to talk about farmland deer, and basically that's what I have here behind me. You can see this cornfield here behind me. Normally there isn't a cornfield here, and to my right, I'll show you that in the video, to my right there is a soybean field. That soybean field usually is always there, but this cornfield is not, and normally this is a tobacco field. And this is kind of the point I want to make. So on your particular hunting lease, or where you hunt, or even if you've hunted there for years, from year to year things change, and as a good hunter and a sportsman, you change with those changes. So this year there's a fairly heavy acorn mass in the woods, so there's a lot of acorns falling, and the deer are not concentrating on say corn piles or other food sources because there's so many acorns falling. Some years there's not a lot of acorns, and so deer will focus their attention more so on other food sources. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about as a good sportsman. You get out, you look around, you reassess the way you're going to hunt to be more successful. Now I'm going to point out a few things very quickly on this video, and then we may do I may have some video shots of some deer that we kill later in this video. But this will help you hopefully to be a better hunter. And these are just some things that I've picked up and I've done over the years as a hunter. I've learned to be versatile in my hunting just like I do in my fishing. Very quickly, you'll notice that behind me this cornfield runs a pretty significant distance. That's probably around 300 yards that this cornfield actually runs. And like I said, normally this cornfield is not here. There's usually a tobacco field. All these fields that you see behind me are usually tobacco fields every year. But this year they planted corn here. So automatically when they planted the corn this spring, and I saw that, I realized that I would have to change the way I hunt this year. And if you'll notice, see those poplar trees right there? I'm going to put a ladder stand in those poplar trees because that is the most narrow point between those woods there that I can get a shot with my crossbow. So automatically I've picked a place out that I'm going to hunt. Now I have a box stand on the other side of the field there, but I want to hunt. I will try to take a deer with my crossbow. So I'm going to put a stand in that tree right there. Now I'll point this out with my finger. So all along these woods, I know that there are going to be deer coming out anywhere along this field is a good spot. And there are rubs and scrapes all along this field. Another point, to the left of this tall tree, there's a big bottom in there. And in that bottom, deer, larger sized deer, are going to access. Anytime you have a low area accessing a food source, like here, and then I know it's a bottom. You can't see it, but trust me, there's a big bottom in there. Those two spots there. Anytime you have a low area approaching a food source is an absolutely extraordinary place to actually place a stand. Now I have a stand in that big bottom that I pointed out now that I have placed there. And a buck, especially a mature deer, likes to get close to an area, and he likes to stage. He'll rub his horns, he'll bed down, he'll just work the area and hang out till dark before he actually comes out in the field. Now I don't expect in this field to kill a huge buck, and I'm talking about something that's 130 class above. There will be some smaller bucks that are used, unless that buck is probably chasing a doe, maybe possibly then. But in those bottoms, those bottoms that are approaching this field, I expect to see deer of a better caliber. So anyway, that's kind of how I'm going to set up my stands to hunt this cornfield. And we're going to move to the back side of the farm to another place that I'm going to point out that deer are using and how we place our stands around to watch those particular areas. So let's move to this next place. So this particular field that you see behind me is a place. It's about a 7 or 8 acre field back here on the back side of the farm in the middle of the woods. So deer love to use this field, even though it's a tobacco field. They love to use this field to just leave their calling card. So they leave a lot of scrapes. Right behind this branch behind me is a favorite branch for them, a licking branch. And I've put cameras up here before. You'll have 7 or 8 different bucks utilizing this corner of this field. And we're going to just walk around the edge of this field really quickly. This is like a couple of weeks right before the season. Bucks are making scrapes, and as you know, scrapes and licking branches is kind of their calling card to other deer in the area. Now I just drove by one as I was coming in up here. So there's one up here. There's basically 2 big scrapes right here. We'll count as one. And we're going to just slip around this field so I know that deer are using this area. Another point to be made, this field also changes. One year they had soybeans back here, and it was fantastic that particular year. There was a lot of deer using here. But it hasn't been that way in 7, 8 years. So that's why I say that each year as a hunter, you have to go in and look at your territory. Say you hunting big woods, and all of a sudden one year they come in and they timber it all, and you looking at bare ground. I've did that on several different hunting leases over the years. So you have to change the way that you establish your hunting pattern. So let's go take a look at these scrapes. So here's a small one. This is a small area right here. These kind of areas that you're looking for. And you notice right above this branch kind of hanging out here, kind of a licking branch. That's what we're kind of looking for. Anyway, we made our way around the field. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have about 7 scrapes and licking branches around that tree. So what does that tell us as a hunter? That tells me that these bucks are either using the edge of this field as a route, or either they just coming out and socializing and hanging around the edge. So as a hunter, that tells me that I need to be hunting around this field. Now I have a box stand established on the upper side of this field. To the back side, it's about 130 to 150 yard shot. To this corner where I'm standing, there's an old road bed behind me. And a road bed is an absolutely great place to go check for scrapes. Deer like to utilize this road bed. I'm traveling. So hey guys, the next time you see me, I'll be sitting in one of these deer stands that I have pointed out, or one of these locations I pointed out. Hey, stay with us. Let's go see if we can kill a deer. So what's up guys? So this is the opening afternoon of black powder season, and Boone is hunting with my black powder gun. I'm hunting with my crossbow, and I haven't taken a deer with my crossbow this year yet, so I decided to hunt this big poplar tree on the edge of this cornfield. It's a little breezier than I want it to be, but the wind should lay here about another hour. So Boone is hunting that funnel area in that bottom. that we discussed early in the video. And I've got some good deer coming in there on the cameras. Anyway, we're going to tuck in here and see what happens this afternoon. So stay with us and let's see what happens. Actually, Boone just texted and said he shot a nice deer. So if he shot a nice buck, instead of waiting to complete dark, I told him we'd give him about 30 minutes before we start looking. But anyway, if he shot a good deer, I'm gonna go ahead and get down and make my way down there to him and to go see if we can find this deer while we got some pretty good daylight. Boone has shot a really nice buck. If he's the same deer that I have on film from a few weeks ago, this is a really nice buck. So while we still have some daylight and we can see in the woods, since this is such a nice buck, I decided to come on out of the stand and we're gonna go track this deer down. So hey guys, come on with us and let's go see if we can find this deer. Yeah, there's blood, all right. This is probably where it shot through him. So, we've got blood right here where he shot. And he's going on the blood right here. And that's a good sign. We got a lot of blood right here where he actually hit the deer. So let's follow along. He's taking the lead on the trailing. So let's go see if we can find this deer. Good blood trailing. Got it. Oh. Let's do this. Move this one. One, two, three, four, five. Good buck. It looks like he's got a kicker right here in the back. Right here. Nice buck. Boom. Turn his head right there for me. So what's happening, guys? So today is the second day of muzzleloader season and I'm headed back into the farm. Boone got up and hunted this morning. So this is actually Sunday morning. I normally don't hunt on Sundays and because we have church. Anyway, Boone went this morning for a little while and you know, you've already seen that he killed that nice buck yesterday afternoon. Well, he just called me a few minutes ago and said he's got another buck down. It looks like a really nice buck again, and he had a far shot on it. And so I'm gonna go help him track this deer down and see if we can locate him. Hey guys, stay with us. So we finally made it to the back side of the farm, and Boone said he shot the deer all the way across the field here, which is probably 150 yard shot. And this muzzleloader here, this is a Savage ML2, and it is capable of making that shot easily. And I've got it topped with a Leupold scope, and it's a tack driver. Anyway, that was a stand Boone was hunting in, and made this shot. This deer was working a scrape line along the back side of this field and rubbing his horns, and we had spotted that scrape line a couple of weeks ago that he was working. And of course this morning he got to capitalize on it. Well, it looks like the deer went in this opening right here. And so since I have the camera, I'm gonna let Boone take the lead on tracking the deer. So let's go find us a deer. Boom. Nice typical 8. Tilt his head down. Nice typical boom. It's a good shot. Kind of, when you tilt it, kind of start turning it left or right just a little bit. Right there. And back. Pretty wreck. Pretty 8-pointer. Turn him towards me. Boom. Well, guys, it looks like Boone capitalized yesterday afternoon and this morning. He got this deer this morning. Killed this one yesterday afternoon. Sorry I didn't get the kills on film, but you know, I was out hunting myself and didn't have the camera running. But anyway, 2 nice bucks. Central North Carolina, muzzleloader season's in. Guys, we're gonna close this video out. Hey, we appreciate you guys doing all that you do for the channel. We appreciate you subscribing. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. Subscribe to the channel. Click that like button. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss an episode of Wildlife Adventures. And as always, you remember, it's a wildlife, and I'll see you in the field.